Sochi Olympic Sports Series, only Sports Channel American Network.
Advantage GP.
He is a great player.
Copy, none compare. Advantage Eagle. New looks in performing arts. Advantage Savings. Guaranteed cash back on Jeep Cherokees. New Eagle Premieres. Hot new Eagle Talons. And Jeep Wranglers. During the Guaranteed Advantage Sellathon, the only advantage you don't have is time.
See your National Capital Area Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
Did you hear about it? A big new baseball video that covers all of the 1980s. It's got everything.
What's got everything?
That new sporting news video. Baseball in the 80s, it's really terrific.
Okay, where do I get it? How much does it cost?
It won't cost you a penny. The sporting news is giving it away. What a great deal.
Hi, I'm Jack Brickhouse, and I've just seen one of the best baseball videos ever produced. Baseball in the 80s, new from the Sporting News. An entire decade of headline-making, record-breaking baseball action and excitement. See the Pine Tar game, and the Earthquake series, the great plays, and the not-so-great, the clutch hits, the defensive gems, the unforgettable moments, the classic performances that open the door to the Hall of Fame. They're all here, all yours, all free. Free with your paid subscription to the Sporting News, America's most authoritative, most complete sports weekly, bringing fans unbeatable baseball coverage for over 100 years. Call now to have the Sporting News delivered right to your mailbox every week at a big 46% saving off the cover price. Plus this full-hour video cassette of the decade, Baseball in the 80s, yours free.
Call 1-800-248-4422. Get your free video with 25 issues of the Sporting News for 3 payments of just $9.96. Call now, 1-800-248-4422. That's 1-800-248-4422.
Welcome back to our Sports Channel America studios in New York. I'm Bob Papa, along with former Islander great Dennis Potvin. One period complete in Boston. The Bruins lead the Whalers by a 2-0 score. Well, the first ever series between these two teams, the Bruins and Hartford Whalers, has turned into a treat for New England. A 7th and final game is deciding which team will play Montreal in the Adams Division final. Boston is appearing in their 12th 7th game. They're 5-6. Hartford is entering tonight's action 0-1 in 7th game play. And in this game, Boston leads at 2-0. The goal scorers, John Bice is first, and Craig Janney also gets his first on a beautiful pass from Cam Neely. And Dennis Potvin, when you take a look at this game, I guess for Boston, it's better to have a Ray Bourque and a Craig Janney, even if they're not at 100% on the ice.
We were watching Bourque in the first period, and it looked to me like he's not moving certainly the way Ray Bourque can move. I think his hip is still bothering him, but it's a good move for the Bruins to put him on the ice. He's getting the skating time, but more importantly, his teammates are comfortable with him there. Power play, penalty killing, the areas in that rink, that small Boston Bruin rink, where handling the puck is so vital. Bourque and Janney are two really good puck handlers, and this is really where their efficiency comes into play, not to mention the leadership of a Norris Trophy winner like Ray Bourque.
Well, Boston had a 1-0 lead on Bice's goal, and then, really, Dennis, a critical play for Hartford in period number 1.
Well, oftentimes in a hockey game, especially one that is as important and crucial as this one, retaliation is often the indirect cause of goals. And here we're going to watch Grant Jennings chasing Carpenter. On the top of your screen, it just went by. You saw him take a shot at Carpenter. Now, this was a direct retaliation from a previous hit. Carpenter had hit him very hard. Carpenter had hit him very cleanly. But Grant Jennings just couldn't get over it. He went right back at him, punched him in the face. Now, mind you, Hartford Whalers were down 1 player already. And it put them down 2 players on the power play, and now it's 2-0 Boston Bruins, directly related to that silly penalty.
All right, Boston leads at 2-0 after 1. We'll be back with more NHL action after this.
An overtime memory that permanently gave Bob Nystrom the moniker Mr. O.T. That story tonight on Discover Card's Great Moments in Hockey.
Help you?
Just looking.
interrupt this browsing for another useful tool. Perfect. The card that actually pays you cash back for every charge.
That's it.
The Discover card.
Thanks for just browsing.
It pays to discover the card that pays you back.
Excelling in the clutch seems to follow some athletes. One of those was Bob Nystrom of the New York Islanders. 39 goals at 83 points in 157 career playoff games. And while those totals impress, he'll best be remembered for 4 of those goals. Ones that decided games in overtime. Nystrom was a rough and tumble winger that inspired the Islanders to 4 consecutive Stanley Cups. His most famous OT marker came on May 24th, 1980, a goal which gave the Islanders their first ever Stanley Cup championship. The New York Islanders have had many moments to cherish, but none more vivid than those provided by Bob Nystrom. Tonight's Discover card, great moments in hockey.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt, why Sports Cream? Massaging Sports Cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why Sports Cream? Because it works.
From Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, the USA's World Cup team gets footloose in this match against Colombia. Take a seat in midfield as America prepares for a showdown in Italy. Live at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on Sports Channel America, Sunday.
Welcome back. While Boston and Hartford wrap up round 1 of the Wales Conference, the pairings are set for second-round action in the Campbell Conference. In the Norris Division, it will be the first against the second-place teams, the St. Louis Blues against Chicago. As you see head-to-head, the Blues win it 5 times this year against 2 defeats and 1 draw. Brett Hull against Greg Millen. Will Millen be pulled in this series? St. Louis took care of Toronto in 5 games. Chicago needed a 5-3 win last night in Game 7 to knock off Minnesota. And that is the game we will bring you tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Time here on Sports Channel America. The Blues at Chicago Stadium. Wednesday night, Norris Division Final, game number 1. Well, in the Smythe Division, the first-place club and defending Stanley Cup champion Calgary Flames are history. This year's finals are a rematch of last year's Smythe Division semifinals. The LA Kings against the Edmonton Oilers. Head-to-head, the Oilers won 4 of the 8 meetings. Messier against Gretzky, the Kings defense. And it's interesting because last year in round number 1, the Kings came back from a 3-1 deficit. They beat Edmonton. Edmonton had to do that this year in order to beat Winnipeg. And we'll see that game tomorrow night on Sports Channel America as well. 9:30 Eastern Time, Smythe Final, game number 1. Wayne Gretzky and the Kings against the Edmonton Oilers. Well, the game also marks the return of Wayne Gretzky to Edmonton. Before the Great One was sent packing to Los Angeles 2 summers ago, he was the heart and soul of the team. But since the trade, the burden of the team leadership has fallen on the shoulders of Mark Messier.
For that part of the game, I don't think I've really done all that much different than I have in the past years. I think that the biggest difference probably being that I'm a captain now in the last couple of years. But as far as really of what I've done on and off the ice, I don't really think it's that big a difference from what I've done in the past.
Why do you think this was your best season offensively?
Well, I think that a couple of reasons. You know, we've played an awful lot of hockey over the last 6 or 7 years, and I think this year I was able to take the summer off. Unfortunately, because we did get beat out, but on the good side of the coin on that was that I had a real good chance to get myself back together again. I have a lot of rest to rehabilitate my knees, and I came into the season this year feeling really hungry. And I think also that my role has changed a little bit with Gretzky being gone. I think more emphasis is being put on me to provide more of the offense that I have in the past, and I'm playing more of the key situations.
Well, Dennis, Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky, 2 types of leadership, 2 different styles.
Absolutely. I mean, if you were trying to describe Mark Messier, you'd say he's big, he's tough, he's a great skater. You wouldn't use any of those words to describe Wayne Gretzky. They're different physically, but their leadership is now starting to surface. Obviously, Gretzky we knew about, but Messier took him a little while. The first year as captain of the Oilers was a little difficult on the Oilers and on himself. He's a great leader and probably one of the best all-around hockey players in the league at the moment.
All right, that wraps it up from our New York studios. Period 2 from the Boston Garden comes your way next.
Win a chance to appear with me, Tom Davis, during an Orioles game. Stay tuned for all the details about this exciting amateur announcer contest.
Bouncer over Weston's head. Here comes Bill Ripken, a great play. Got him! And this is hit deep to left. Jones is back, looks up, kiss it goodbye. The infield is in with a runner at third and one out. Bouncer to first. Cal Ripken's going to try to score. Kittle's through it. He's saved.
It's the craftsman. It's the mechanic. It's all of us. We're the great American investors. We invest in U.S. savings bonds because bonds pay competitive rates. Find out more. Call 1-800-US-BONDS.
Now the 2-0 lead after one period. Rick Peckham and Jerry Cheevers back with you. And Jerry, let's have a quick look at the Boston scoring plays.
Rick, this will start right from the Bruin end. Raymond Bourque will make a pass to John Bice, and he'll very quickly give it to John Carter. But the key to this goal is not so much the fact that Carter will hang up Dave Babbage and have an opportunity. John Bice comes from near his own hash marks to knock in the rebound. Sure, John Carter beat Dave Babbage in a one-on-one situation, but, you know, hockey's a team sport. You got to help a guy out like this by turning around and picking up whoever's coming to the net. We'll see it from ice level here. You know, the goaltender can only make the first save, and Bice, as I said, came from his own hash marks to give the Bruins a 1-0 lead, and this was his first National Hockey League goal. We'll just see him come into the picture to the left of your screen, and he has plenty of time to give the Bruins the lead. The Bruins will then have a two-man advantage, and we'll see what happens right here. They had plenty of time to set it up down low. Cam Neely will try and just get it to Dave Christian. Christian did not really mean to direct this to Craig Janney. He wanted to put the puck on the net himself. You'll see right here, but it goes off his stick right to Janney, and Janney scores his first goal of the playoffs for the 2-0 Boston lead. We'll see it from another angle. Sylvain Cote, number 21 for the Whalers, sort of in a tough spot. If he goes to Christian, he leaves Janney open. He had a tough decision to make there, but, you know, sometimes you have to take advantage of your breaks, and the Bruins did.
The Whalers will have more power play time left to try to get on the board when the second period begins.
Did you know that even though your 800 service is working perfectly, unexpected events can keep you from getting calls? But only AT&T automatically covers you with our 800 assurance policy. Within 1 hour, we can reroute 800 calls to any working phone, even at home. Guaranteed. Reliability, another AT&T advantage. Call today about our special 800 offer.
Are your teeth sensitive? Do they hurt? Watch out for the domino effect. It could end in tooth loss. It's a chain reaction that can start with sensitive teeth. Then pain, which can make you stop brushing. That can lead to plaque buildup, gingivitis, periodontal disease, even tooth loss. Sensodyne helps stop the pain and the domino effect. Ask your dentist if you need Sensodyne, the toothpaste dentists recommend most for sensitive teeth. Help stop the pain and the domino effect with Sensodyne.
Cold filter. Never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
1990 Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America are brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered for real draft taste, so tap into the cold. By Sensodyne toothpaste for sensitive teeth. In original fresh mint and gel. Help stop the pain and the domino effect, a chain reaction that can lead to tooth loss. By AT&T, the right choice. By your Toyota dealer and Toyota's quality line of 1990 cars and trucks. Toyota, a heritage of reliability. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
Jerry, the Whalers have 59 seconds left on the prop penalty. In previous games here, they've had trouble just getting shots through. How are they doing so far?
They're terrific, Rick. He's forcing Moog to make the save through a screen all the time, but Andy Moog's one of the best in the business at that. As I've mentioned 2 or 3 times in this series, he's got a great crouch. He has that ability to locate the puck through a screen.
Whalers have Tomlak, Francis, Verbeek, Babbage, and Young on the ice. As Hartford is on its second power play chance, Burridge and Poulin work in front of Wesley and Gary Gallett on the penalty-killing unit, which was second best in the NHL in the regular season, and I can't imagine them playing any better than they have in this series. As Verbeek kind of send it in, he's held up by Burridge. Scott Young with a pass to Babbage, moves it to Tomlak. Babbage rushed by Poulin. Poulin held off by Babbage. Tomlak races back, gives it to Young. Looks for an opening, can't find one. Babbage fires, and he rockets one wide. 15 seconds left on the penalty. The pass into Tomlak, sends it back up the boards. Burridge chops at it. Young kept it into Tomlak. Tomlak sprawls, kicks it back to Young. Quick shot, hit Francis. As the penalty time is just about up, Boston's back to full strength. Here's Babbage shooting, and it's deflected wide by Tomlak. Verbeek fights his way through. Tomlak back out to Babbage again, shooting, and it's deflected wide. As the Whalers keep it in, Francis and Poulin had collided out in the deep slot as Prop picks up the puck, slides it by Brad Shaw, and he'll have to take it out at center.
Now, last flurry of shots, Rick, they all got through, but they missed the net. The Whalers trying to load up in front of Andy Moog to make it tougher for him to see the puck.
Carpenter swings in, goes to Carter, shooting, he hit the post. Bork looks, fires, and he hit the post on the other side. Peterson into Carpenter. Carter gathers it in. Weiss is waiting in front. They can't get the pass to him. Grant Jennings trying to push it up Weiss. Weiss knocked it down for Carter. It's recovered by Evason. It's a 3-man Hartford Whaler rush. Evason looking for Tippett, breaking the pass, hit Bork. Deneen to Cote, shooting, and it's blocked by Peterson. Out comes Carpenter. We're past the 2-minute mark of the second. Here's Weiss, who had the game-opening goal. His pass is hooked behind Carter. Bork drives it in off Deneen.
You talk about taking advantage of your breaks. Well, the Whalers got 2 big breaks. Both posts. Carter hit the post, and immediately after, Raymond Bork.
Don Sweeney plays it back in. Fedorkovich has to play it for Sidak Cote. Davey Tippett has had quite a series. Bob Beers steals the pass, and Tippett blocked his attempt. Beers got it to Prop. Craig Janney swings in, shoots it. It's off Ladouceur's skate, and the puck comes bouncing to Neely. Cote meets him there. Jody Hull, who had a great scoring chance in the first period, held off by Moog. Races after that puck. Ferraro follows up. Ferraro in front to Krieger, shooting, and he fires it wide as he just slipped away from Brian Prop. Krieger looks to speed in and pressure the Bruins again as Hull lifts it in. The Whalers get back onside. No, they do not, as the puck ends up on net, and Scapinello makes the automatic call. It's still 2-0 Boston early here in the second. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue after these messages.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
It takes more than 180 foot-pounds of torque to tow a $60,000 glider. It takes confidence. The kind I get from my Toyota. The confidence to tow it to the airstrip, and the confidence to launch it.
You know, the shots at the end of the first period were 18-11 in favor of the Whalers. Now, there's been many a scoring opportunity in this period. Here's one right off the left post. Raymond Bourque will follow it right up, and he'll ring this baby right off the crossbar. And down the end, at the other end, the Whalers have an opportunity. You'll see Todd Krieger come in, take a pass from Ray Ferrara, and miss the net. There's been more scoring chances in this first 3.5 minutes, but yet neither team credited with a shot on goal.
On that last chance, it looked like Don Sweeney took that off the left leg and sent the puck wide on Krieger's chance. Don Sweeney has been blocking just a few shots in this game 7 for the Bruins. Out comes Burridge. He hands it to Christian. Christian belted by Francis. Bourque shoots, and he sails it over the crossbar, and Christian chases down the rebound, fires, and it's deflected away to Pat Verbeek. Verbeek, a 44-goal man in the regular season, 2 in this series, both in Game 3. Francis got rid of it, and Bourque is there to take it. We're 4 minutes into play here in the second period as Shaw's back. Bruins get Carpenter and Carter on the ice, along with the youngster Bice, with a hat trick in the NCAA clinching game for Wisconsin over Colgate. Here's Bice in forechecking. Carter's there, lifted away by Cunneyworth. Carter checked by Randy Cunneyworth, and Shaw slips in for it. Can't get it by John Carter. He's not produced a goal in this series so far, but his persistence has been a big factor. Here's a Carpenter. Check by Shaw. Carter, who's been excellent on the penalty-killing unit, in particular for the Bruins, falls on the puck, and Koharski blows the whistle, and Carter and Cunneyworth begin to disagree.
This is a situation where you had a break clean. Carter had a hold of Cunneyworth's leg. We'll see this action in the corner. As soon as, I believe it's Carter goes to the ice right here, this is when Koharski will blow the whistle. I think that's the rule by the refs. Once one of the participants hits the ice and he can't find the puck, the whistle will go.
Sure, the officials want to save themselves a lot of aggravation if they can by looking for perhaps the quicker whistle that you might blow in the regular season.
We'll take the goal in L.A. the other night, the non-goal, I should say, by the Calgary Flames. You know, I think that Morrell made the right call. He was not sure of and he couldn't see the puck, and the whistle had to go. I think the call he made was correct.
In that case, they're looking to avoid further confrontations and pushing and shoving. As Moog playing it back around, Deneen going to knock down the clearing attempt. Bob Sweeney tries the other side to Beers. He'll send it back up to Greg Hawgood. And the Bruin utility man bounces the pass down the ice. Sidorkovich directs Ladouceur, and with Neely on the prowl, Sidorkovich has to play it himself. Bob Sweeney's checked by Tippett. Ladouceur moves it around to Deneen. It escaped to Wesley, shooting, and he sends it wide. Tippett gets to it. On a strong clearing pass, but the Whalers survive. Now Beers has it. Cote chops it down. Beers bounces one into the Hartford zone, and Ladouceur comes up with it. Deneen drives it in, and it's kicked away by Moog. Whalers want to complete a change. As Deneen has it, fires toward the net. Poulin knocked it down. Out of the corner comes Tomlak. Looks to put it in front. Galley doesn't give him much of a chance to do so. Don Sweeney takes care of Deneen, who sweeps it in front. And Babbage was cutting in from the blue line. He couldn't take the pass. Deneen kicks it along, and Poulin takes it. Knocked down by Tomlak. Whalers are starting to get the forechecking going, but now they'll have to reorganize at center. Ray Ferraro heads in with Tomlak. He's bothered by Burridge, lets it go in front. It's corralled by Don Sweeney. Ahead for Christian. Christian pushed off the puck by Samuelson. The Bruin crowd wants a penalty. Peterson shoots, and it's blocked by Young, and he'll clear it out of trouble. It'll be an icing called against the Hartford Whalers. 13:23 to go here in the second period. Our score remains 2-0. Bourque and the Bruins.
keep going? Gotta go with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. When you gotta keep going, you gotta go with Alka-Seltzer Plus.
We played over 6.5 minutes of the second period and only one shot on goal. And that was a shot from some distance by the Whalers that Moog easily handled. But good actions and good opportunities for each team.
Bobby Carpenter will face off against Ronnie Francis. Bork is out there on the Bruin defense. Francis controls the draw to Grant Jennings. Verbeek slips it ahead to Francis. Krieger tries to cut through there. Carpenter and Francis head for the corner. Bork has it. He encounters Krieger, who worked it away. Todd Krieger gets it back. Cuts in front. Trying to get away from Carpenter. Trying to stuff it home. And a stop by Moog right near the goal line. Koharski halts play.
Well, the puck is in the net, but this will not be a goal. When I saw Andy Moog turn around quickly and look behind, I thought it was a goal, but blue-collar effort by Todd Krieger. Watch Moog right here. Look behind. It seemed that no, it hadn't gone in yet, and as we were just talking, Koharski could not locate the puck, and the whistle went. But what an effort by Krieger to even get this puck towards the goal. Look at Andy Moog there. From up at our angle, Rick, as soon as he turned, I said, this is in, but there wasn't much reaction from anyone. Crowd, referee, and especially the Whalers. So, once again, Andy Moog, the man of the hour so far for the Boston Bruins.
Goal judge Dan Shea didn't pull the trigger, and Don Koharski quickly halted play. Here's Shaw. Over to Jennings, lets it go. Saved by Moog. He'll trap it against his blocker, and he'll take another whistle.
The Whalers creating some opportunities in this period because they're winning faceoff, especially Ronnie Francis, who easily won that last draw.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Hartford Whalers and the National Hockey League and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Hartford Whalers, the NHL and Sports Channel is prohibited. Announcers in this broadcast are selected by Sports Channel and approved by the Hartford Whalers.
Ricky Lee has used 3 left wingers with Francis and Verbeek. Ferraro out there playing left wing in this shift.
Off the draw, Verbeek grabs the puck, gets it to Francis, over to Ferraro, and it's batted away by Wesley. The shot by Shaw doesn't make it through, and the Bruins clear. Now Burridge blocks the dump-in attempt. He rolls to the ice. The puck ends up on Shaw's stick. Jennings misses Verbeek. Bruins have to play it with Wesley back.
Right now, the Bruins are on their heels protecting this lead. Too long to go in this hockey game to be playing like that.
Ladouceur with Poulin right on him. Ladouceur plays it to Chris Govidaris. He's belted by Burridge. And Shaw sends it ahead to Jody Hull. Hull cuts in. Leaves it for Cunningham. Shooting, and it's blocked by Gally. Govidaris has it. Shoots. Glove by Moog, and he'll drop it for Poulin. Govidaris playing in his second Stanley Cup playoff game. Backhanded in front, and he just missed Cunningham. Christian roars out, the 10-year veteran. Takes on a couple of Whalers, and he's bumped to the ice by Cote. We're past the 8-minute mark in the second period. Boston leads 2-0. Govidaris strides in, fires, and he misses the net. Cote is at the point to keep it in. Don Sweeney can't lift it by Hull. A youthful line out there for Rick Lee. Hull and Govidaris, a couple of recent #1 draft picks. Don Sweeney on a line change for the Whalers. Clears it ahead. Now the Whalers head back. Tippett fires, sends it wide. The puck's on the mesh. Deneen can't get it loose in time. Takes a shot from Don Sweeney. And that draws a crowd. 11:28 to go. Second period. It's still 2-0 Boston. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue after these messages.
HTS presents an exciting contest this Orioles season, the Amateur Announcer Contest. Win a chance to appear with me, Tom Davis, during the highlight segment of an Orioles telecast on Home Team Sports. To enter, sign up at Baltimore's original sports bar before April the 20th at 5:30 or send a postcard to Amateur Announcer, care of Home Team Sports. Warm up for the Orioles' second opener at the original sports bar April the 20th from 5 till 7. Baltimore's original sports bar proudly features Miller Genuine Draft, Baltimore's #1 draft choice. You must be 21 or older to enter.
Rick Peckham and Jerry Cheevers with you tonight here on Sports Channel with the Bruins trying to move along and play their longtime playoff rival, the Montreal Canadiens, in the Adams Division Finals. And we still have plenty of hockey left to play here tonight in Game 7. Boston leading by that 2-0 count. Bice and Janney are the goal scorers in this one as Ulf Samuelsson starts it in for Hartford. Moog plays it back to Cam Neely. Here's the pass to Janney. Neely's on the move. Steps around Deneen. Puts it in front. Played away by Sidorkovich. His prop bumped into him and makes sure that he lands on the goaltender as well. Evason tries to split the defense. And Raymond Bourque, injured hip and all, wheels it out. His pass is deflected by Tippett into the 10th row. We look at Cam Neely and co-superstar Raymond Bourque.
I'll say, every time I see Cam Neely in, he is a great player. I best describe him, if I can borrow a page out of from the wrestling world. He, to me, is the ultimate warrior. By the way, he beat Hulk Hogan just recently, so don't laugh at that. But this man right here reminds me of the ultimate warrior, and he's not going to be the first all-star at right wing. He leads the rush right here, and he just blows by guys. If you're standing still, you have no shot at him.
Sure, the Whalers' goal, I guess, was to just try to limit his chances as much as they could, and they've done a pretty good job with that. He still has 9 points in the 7 games.
I think the Whalers have done a heck of a job on him, and you can see what he's accomplished.
Bob Sweeney's trying to keep the pressure on. Ferraro out ahead for Young. He's checked by Gould, and the play's offside. Campanello blows the whistle, and Gould and Young are still tugging at each other. Scott Young, who led the Whalers in scoring against Boston in the regular season, 8 points in 8 games, and he produced a big goal to get the Whalers off on the right foot in Game 6. As we look at 32-year-old Bobby Gould, picked up in a trade for defenseman Alain Cote from the Capitals right at the end of training camp.
Bobby Gould was an acting captain for the Bruins earlier this year when Raymond Bourque missed, was it 4 games? 2-1-1 they were. When Raymond missed his last 4 games, the Bruins were 2-2. And that's really a salute to their hockey club to be able to be 2-2 in a playoff series without their superstar.
Francis and Sweeney on this draw. Gary, it's tough for anybody playing with the injury that Bourque has, but he certainly has more resources than just about anybody in the league to get the job done with the injury.
Amazing athlete.
He's shown us his ability to quickly get rid of the puck and avoid a few possibly damaging hits. Here's Krieger in front, trying to lift it home, and he's stopped by Andy Moog. Krieger's had 2 or 3 great chances in the second period. Bourque is held up. Now Hawgood has it. We near the midway point of the second period. Shaw blocked the shot. Verbeek races in. Francis is with him. Bruins, though, have 4 men back, and Verbeek is wrestled to the ice by Beers. Bob Sweeney around to Gould. Bruins change up. Cote around to Verbeek. Sidestep the attempted hit by Wesley. Carpenter gives it to Glenn Wesley. He's playing with a bad hip also. Injured in Game 5. Played a solid game despite the injury in Hartford the other night. Here's Tomlin backhanding it along the ledge of the boards. Cote reaches for it. Carpenter got it away to Don Sweeney. Taken away by Tomlak. Weiss slides it in deep. Cote comes by, makes the pass to Young. Don Sweeney with a weak pass, and Tomlak got a piece of it. Sweeney tries to recover. Ferraro gets it loose. Samuelsson shoots. It's deflected off Poulin. The puck bounces behind the net. Galley is rocked on the hit by Young. Babbage pinches into the corner as Young steps in front. Shoots! Blocked by Gary Galley, and he smothers the puck with a whistle. 8:46 to go in the second. The Bruins are holding on to their 2-0 lead. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue after these messages.
Scott Young with a great opportunity, but let's see what led to this chance. It was an interception by Mike Tomlak on a clearing pass by Don Sweeney. And what will happen, the puck will eventually end up in the other corner right here, and Scott Young will have plenty of time. He just rushes this a bit, but watch Gary Galley come sliding out from the top of your picture, and I'll tell you, that takes courage. But Scott Young, I think, could have held a little longer there, Rick. Just a little quick. He tried to let the shot go. But Galley he's come to the front in this series as a top defenseman.
This Whaler line of Tippett, Evason, and Dineen has been on for 6 of the last 11 Whaler goals in this series. They're an underrated crew, certainly. And they go against a very effective trio with Christian shooting wide. Poulin is on with Burridge. Samuelson battles against Christian. It's worked up the boards to Dineen, but Burridge got in the way. Evason had it lifted away by Christian, and Samuelson can't get it out. Alan Peterson shoots, and it's kicked away by Samuelson. Tippett plays it out to center. Dineen hustles through, and he's overtaken by Bork. Peterson shoots it in. Govidaris, 20-year-old left winger of the Whalers, is held up by Poulin. Under 8 minutes to go, second period. It's 2-0 Boston. Both Bruin goals in period 1. Now Govidaris goes down, and Bob Sweeney will be going off. And the Whalers will get a crucial power play chance at 12:13.
This is going to be called interference, Rick. And as we said, you're going to get away with a lot of the little stuff. But if the referee feels it's a scoring chance, then he's going to call it. And it seems that Govidaris had a step on Bob Sweeney. So therefore, Koharski must think he would have been in cold, and he was stopped, so therefore the penalty. Little pass here by Dean Evans, and you'll see to the right of your screen the interference by Sweeney.
Gary, that penalty is rather indicative of the way this period has gone.
Well, the Bruins with one shot, and the Whalers really playing all out right here. They're having some opportunities, not great opportunities. I would think the best opportunity was the Scott Young that Galley smothered, and the Krieger chance when he came out from the corner. Once again, referees can fool you. It looked like players were going to be allowed to get away with a lot of things this evening, and all of a sudden this call.
Whalers with their third power play chance. They've had all 3 consecutively after Boston had 2 opportunities. Here's Young looking for open ice, works it to Babbage. Babbage with a pass to Francis. He's checked by Wesley. Govidaris out to Young. Lets it go. Deflected by Verbeek, and Moog sprawled to make the stop. That went off Verbeek's leg. He's trying to put it in front again. The puck's on the net. It rolls off. Francis and Wesley wrestle for it. It pops in front to Bork. He's hounded by Verbeek. Carpenter sweeps it through center.
Wow, this was Moog's best save of the hockey game. How he ever got his arm in that is beyond me.
Francis is offside.
I'm not so sure this went off for Beek or Raymond Bork in front. Nevertheless, it forced Moog to make his best save. Rick, what you pointed out is very evident. The Whalers getting better chances because they're being more mobile across the blue line. Let's see who deflected this. Well, it went off for Beek. You see it better from this angle. Tough puck to get towards the net as it is rolling. It went off Pat Verbeek's right skate. You'll see it from ice level here. Verbeek is a tough little guy in front of the net. He's so small and compact. He easily gets position all the time. He gets in front of that defenseman, and he's able to maneuver himself to get those deflections.
1:18 left in the Bob Sweeney penalty for interference. 7 minutes to go in the second. Whalers are looking to get on the board. They're down 2-0. And we've got a penalty upcoming as Verbeek controls it, and holding is indicated by Koharski. So the teams will each be down a man. Under 7 minutes left here in the second. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue after these messages.
It is a race from California to New York to win America's favorite light beer. It is the Tour Delight. Here comes the Jamaican bobsled team, Flecko and White, and of course, Run DMC.
Hey guys, I know a shortcut. Follow me.
Well, there goes Woody Harrelson. They all want to win the less filling beer that really tastes great, Miller Lite. And so, it's on to New York.
Canada. All right. What's on the map?
So the teams will be at even strength for the next minute and 6 seconds. Ronnie Francis right here will hold up Brian Propp, not allowing him to get to the puck, and holding will be the call. 1:06 left in the penalty to Bobby Sweeney.
And the Bruins will anticipate going on the power play for their third chance. They had a two-man advantage in the first period, and the first penalty had just ended by the time Janney scored to make it 2-0. Tomlak and Poulin on this draw. Beers and Galley back up Poulin and Propp. And Gary Galley looks for room to skate. Steps in against Samuelson. Keeps going. Backhands it toward the net. It's turned aside by Sidorkovich. Babbage trying to keep the play going. Poulin pokes it back to Beers. Propp with one goal in the series. Centers. And it rolls off Sidorkovich's stick. And he controls it finally for the whistle. 41 seconds left in the Boston penalty.
Oh, Peter had to do it again. He would have froze it the first time when he had it to trap to the left side of the net. You'll see the action in front of the net. We've had a lot of deflected goals in this series. Well, Peter Sidorkovich, win, lose, or draw, and there is no draws in Stanley Cup play. He stood up well and has played super for the Whalers in this series.
Dave Poulin, who has 7 points in the series, certainly has contributed mightily offensively and most definitely defensively.
Every time I see Poulin and Brian Propp on the ice, I think of Bobby Clark being released yesterday, being let go, I should say, as general manager. A little conflict with the president.
That after a last place finish in the Patrick division by the Flyers. They've been so strong for so long. Here's Ladouceur with a pass out for Tippett. It rolls away to Galley. Bruins will have the man advantage in 30 seconds. Carter winds it up, takes the drive, a stick save by Sidorkovich. Trying to keep the play moving as Burridge hustles in there. Two small, pint-size almost forwards for the Bruins, who never stop working on the ice right now. Carter with a pass toward the net, and it's played away by Sidorkovich. Burridge has it. Checked by Cote. Carter checked by Randy Ladouceur. Tippett with Sweeney leaving the box, and Boston has a 51-second power play with Francis off for holding.
There'll be a flock of new troops on the ice. It looks like Broadway at lunch hour.
Here's Beers sending it to the corner. Sidorkovich ready for the carob. Jennings drives it hard off the boards, and Wesley turns and finds that he has to chase the puck. Evison and Tomlak on the Whaler penalty killing unit, 4th best in the regular season. The Bruins certainly have had the upper hand in this building in this series. They've scored 7 goals on 20 chances before this. Out comes Neely. Drops it for Craig Janney. Pushes it to Wesley on the backhand. The shot stopped by Sidorkovich, and he hangs on in a crowd as Neely and Jennings were bumping out in front.
Well, the Bruins had the Whalers going every which way in that last rush, led by Cam Neely. The only one they didn't confuse was Peter Sidorkiewicz, as he just stood there, and he'll finally make a save on the backhand with a lot of traffic in front of him, and he gets this right in the midsection. You know, one of the things that's going to be on the agenda at the rules meeting this summer is the traffic in front of the net. How are they going to stop it? I mean, how are you going to stop a Cam Neely going to the net? Who's strong enough and big enough and to stop these big athletes of today? They're just too strong.
8 seconds left on the penalty to Francis. Dave Tippett trying to finish off this Hartford penalty, facing off against Bobby Carpenter. Neely pokes it back to Bork. Janney lets it go. Carpenter centers. Neely taps it on goal. He thought he had poked it in. Francis steps out of the box and joins the play as the Whalers are back to full strength. Still down, though, 2-0 Janney. Hands it to Neely. And Neely gets it back. Shooting, he scores!
Obviously, the next goal in the game when it's 2-0 is a key goal, and this certainly will be it. Some give and go between Janney and Cam Neely, but Neely with one of the top wrist shots in the game, and especially when he's coming in off his opposite wing with the puck more towards the front of the net, right past the dot, and a very accurate shot right off the left post.
I think Craig Janney could make plays with that left arm tied behind his back.
It's amazing how he got the puck back to Cam Neely. Little backhanded flip right on the stick of Neely. They are a tandem. I'm having a tough time with that word. One of the top ones in the league.
A lot of teams are having a tough time with that tandem. They each have a goal and an assist. In the hockey game, it's 3-0 Bruins. Francis tries to corral the puck, and Burridge has it. Janney held up by Samuelson. 4:15 left here in the second period. The hole gets a bit bigger for the Whalers to try to climb out of. Ronnie Francis had it poked away by Galley. Christian gets onside, pushes it to Poulin. He's hooked by Francis, run over by Verbeek. The Whalers are going to be penalized. Koharski signals cross-checking to Pat Verbeek under 4 minutes to go in the second, and the Bruins lead it 3-0.
More and more people are finding more and more reasons to choose the Discover card. Here's one. Cash back for every charge. It pays to Discover.
Chocolate is crunches when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
Pat Verbeek will get the gate for cross-checking. Let's watch this play develop. Dave Christian, who's had a fine series, just tries to lay it in front. And Pat Verbeek, right at the end of the play, will take Poulin to the ice and draw the penalty. We'll see it very clear from this angle. Well, if that cross-check is down a little lower, it might not have been called.
Dean Emerson steals the puck, sends it ahead to Tippett. Wesley recovered, and Janney picks it up. Tippett sprawls. Cote takes over. He'll wrist it in.
At one time, the shots favored the Whalers 5-1 in this period, and the Bruins have had the last 6.
Bork across to Carpenter, dropping it for Bork. Looks for Wesley. Carpenter's parked in front. Wesley takes a look. He sees Neely. Wesley over to Bork. Wesley struggles with that puck, keeps it away from Cote, though. He was out of the blue line. Tippett is down low. Neely shoots. He dribbles it wide. Janney checked by Cote. Cote fires it off the glass and through center. Whalers change up short-handed, and Bork rushes into the zone. Cote slaps the puck away. Krieger lost track of it. Carpenter shoots a save by Sadorkovic, and Jennings beat Neely to that loose puck. Deneen charges ahead. Krieger's with him. Deneen can't step around Bork. Bork still masterful with that injured left side. Janney maneuvers in. Checked by Krieger. Dropped it back. Deneen is the only man there to take it. 30 seconds to go in the penalty. Deneen shoots, and it's tipped over the net by Bork. Burridge leaves it for Galley. Samuelson races to keep the play in deep. Poulin. Rink wide to Galley. A pass kicked off Burridge's skate, but the ever-reliable Bork is back as Sadorkovic steps out to play it to Wolf Samuelson. The penalty's over. Under 2 minutes to go now in the second period. Hartford down 3-0. Randy Ladouceur over to Samuelson. The lead for Verbeek. Beard sees Gouverneur is coming. Gould got rid of it. Dangerous pass. Babbage shoots. Peterson blocked it. Babbage tries again, and this time it's Poulin who steps in front. Gould fights his way to center, but Shaw held the Bruin rush up. Babbage cuts away from Carter. And we get a whistle and a tripping penalty upcoming against the Whalers. 1:23 to go here in period 2. It's 3-0 Boston.
Did you know that even though your 800 service is working perfectly, something could keep you from getting calls? But only AT&T automatically covers you with our 800 assurance policy. Within 1 hour, we can reroute 800 calls to any working phone and any other office, guaranteed. Reliability, another AT&T advantage. Call today about our special 800 offer.
Well, the wheels have sort of fallen off in this last 10 minutes for the Whalers. They come out and they had the right idea, trailing 2-0. Just don't give anything up defensively and take your chances. A couple good chances near Moog, not an awful lot, but one on a deflection from a... I got a guy yelling in my ear. I'm sorry, and a couple of good chances for the Whalers early, Rick, but now it's been all Bruins.
Escobedaris is off for the penalty as Moog tees it up for Bork. Out ahead for Prop. This is the Bruins' third straight power play chance. Bork entangled up with Evason. And the Bruins keep it in. Prop and Neely go to work. Sadorkovic keeps it loose to Cote. Sends it off the boards. Bork had it chopped away by Tippett. And Tippett lands on the puck, and we get the whistle with 48 seconds to go in the period.
I don't think that people realize about Raymond Bork, how strong he is defensively. We see some of his offense stats, and we think of him rushing the puck end-to-end occasionally in his great shot, but he is, I think, you know, we think of Rod Langway types and maybe Ramsey from Buffalo, but Raymond Bork is a quality defenseman. You know, as this game has progressed, he's not been afraid to get into body situations with that sore hip. He found out early that it was all right.
Off the face-off, Samuelson has it. Sends it ahead to Evason, surrounded by Bruins. He's content to kill some clock and finds Tippett shooting, and he couldn't get good wood on it. Bork drives it high off the glass. Sadorkovic plays it away. Tippett tries to jam it off the ledge of the boards. It's stuck there, and Ladouceur makes sure it stays there. 21 seconds to go in the period.
Kowarski has not signaled where the face-off will be, but I'm sure it'll remain inside as there is a couple of Whalers and just Raymond Bork on the boards.
Well, the Whalers had the momentum going their way early in the period. Created a couple of power play chances, and Rick Lee's team has been unable right from the start in this building to get anything going in the man advantage, and that is hurting their chances very definitely again tonight.
Thought Raymond Bourque could go off the ice, but there's only 21 seconds left in this period.
Bourque. The two teammates in front, goes to Galley. He fires, deflected wide by Burridge. And the puck's on the mesh. Koharski blows the whistle. Randy Burridge, who is on for 10 of the first 20 Boston goals in this series. Talk about underrated players. I think he's regaining that status again after a tough time with injuries a bit this season.
Yeah, he had a tough time coming back, but once again, Rick, and when the Bruins had that amazing comeback in Game 4, Randy Burridge was a big part of it, and he just kept going from there. In that last play, the Bruins clearly beat the Whalers on their strategy, and Burridge just put it into the mesh. That's why the face-off's outside.
Cote pushes it up ice as Galley, with 5 seconds, drives it on goal. It's kicked away by Sidorkovic. Francis reaches for it, and there's the siren ending the second period. Have to be a frustrating one for the Whalers because they did carry the play for a good deal of it, but they have nothing to show for it, and in fact the deficit for them has grown 3-0. The Bruins have the lead after 40 minutes. We'll be checking in with Bob Papa back at Sports Nightly when we come back.